6 peaked at the top of the Billboard 200 chart upon release, along with his second and third albums, Triller in 2008 and Deeper Than Rap in 2009. His fourth album, Teflon Don, in 2010 spawned the single Aston Martin Music, featuring Drake and Chrisette Michele, which received triple platinum certification by the RIAA, while his fifth and sixth albums, God Forgives, I Don't in 2012 and Mastermind in 2014, peaked the Billboard 200 twice more. Outside of his solo career, Rick Ross was a lead member of the hip-hop group Triple C's, alongside fellow Florida rappers Gunplay and Torch in 2005. Rick founded the record label Maybach Music Group in 2009, through which he has signed artists including Meek Mill, Wale, French Montana, and Omarion, among others. MMG entered a joint venture with Def Jam and later with Epic Records to release his subsequent studio albums, Hood Billionaire in 2014, Black Market in 2015, Rather You Than Me in 2017, Port of Miami in 2017, and Port of Miami 2 in 2019, and Richer Than I Ever Been in 2021. After which he entered a joint venture with Gamma to release his collaborative album, Too Good To Be True in 2003 with Meek Mill. Rick is a recipient of 9 Grammy Award nominations and has been named Man of the Year for 2 consecutive years by Hip Hop magazine The Source in 2010 and 2011, as well as Hottest MC in the Game by MTV in 2011. William Leonard Roberts II was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi, and raised in Carroll City, Florida. After graduating from Miami Carroll City Senior High School, he attended the historically black college, Albany State University, on a football scholarship. He worked as a correctional officer for 18 months from December 95 until his resignation in June 97. In his early years at Suave House Records, Rick initially made his debut under the pseudonym Teflon the Don. He made his recording debut on the song Ain't Shit to Discuss on Eric Sermon's Lone album for DreamWorks. The Def Squad presents Eric Onassis. In the mid-2000s, he changed his name to Rick Ross. He derived his stage name from the former drug pen Freeway Ricky Ross, to whom he has no connection. After being signed a deal with Slip and Slide Records, which has been under the Def Jam label since 2006, while signed to Slip and Slide Records, Rick toured with fellow rapper Trick Daddy and made guest appearances on other Slip and Slide albums. His debut album, Port of Miami, was released in 2006, with sales at 187,000 copies during the first week. Christian Horde of Rolling Stone magazine predicted that it would be the summer's biggest rap record. The second single was Push It, which samples Scarface Push It to the Limit, the theme song from the film Scarface. Port of Miami was certified gold by the RIAA on November 8, 2006. In March 2008, his second album, Triller, was released, as his predecessor, Port of Miami, had debuted at the top of the Billboard 200. Its lead single, Speeding, featuring R. Kelly's, peaked at number 21 on the U.S. Billboard, bubbling under Hot 100 singles. The third single, Here I Am, featuring Nelly and Avery Storm. That was my joint. A track from the album called Valley of Death was what stood out to MTV reporters. In this song, Rick speaks briefly on his controversial stint as a correctional officer. Keep it Triller, nigga. Never had a gun and badge, which he stresses, believing he was indeed an officer of the law. The cover of the May 2009 issue of XXL magazine, titled Rick Ross Up in Smoke, featured Rick wearing a pair of Louis Vuitton sunglasses. After publication, a spokesperson for the luxury goods maker contacted XXL to inform them that Rick was sporting bootleg sunglasses on the cover image. It was later revealed that the rapper was wearing authentic Louis shades, which were altered by Jacob Bernstein, known as the Sunglass Pimp. Jacob Bernstein defended his customization despite Louis' insistence that such modification and resale of trademark property isn't legal. Rick had a number of accomplishments in 2010. In May, he released the critically acclaimed Albert Anastasia EP. In addition to that, he released his fourth studio album entitled Teflon Don on July 20, 2010. The lead single was Super High featuring Neo. Actress Stacey Dash made an appearance in the music video. A second official song was released titled Live Fast, Die Young, which features and is produced by Kanye West. The album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, selling 176,000 copies of the week. In November 2010, collaborator Diddy, who in 2009 signed Rick to a management deal with his Ciroc Entertainment, announced from his YouTube channel that he and Rick were working on an EP together. A single was released for the project called Another One. Rick ended the year with releasing another mixtape, Ashes to Ashes, on Christmas Eve of 2010. In early 2011, he put Wale and Meek Mill onto his Maybach Music Group imprint. The group released their debut compilation album, Self-Made Volume 1, in May. Rick performed at the 2011 BET Awards, which aired on June 26. He also received a nomination for Best Male Hip Hop Artist. In early 2012, he was named the hottest MC in the game. Big things were happening for Rick Ross's successful career in 2012 as well. He started the year by premiering his Rich Forever mixtape to universal acclaim. Rick's MMG Camp released their second compilation, Self-Made Volume 2, in June 2012. Less than a month later, his fifth album, God Forgives, I Don't, was released on July 31st, 2012. After a few delays upon its release, the album charted at number 8 on the UK Albums Chart, number 2 on the UK R&B Albums Chart, making it its highest charting album and first top 10 album in the UK. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with first week sales of 218,000 copies. In October 2014, he announced he would be releasing another album, Hood Billionaire, in order to make up for Meek Mill's Dreams Worth More Than Money album being shelved due to his incarceration. Rick revealed cover art for Hood Billionaire in October 2014 and announced the release date to be set for November 24th, 2014. The album received mixed reviews from fans and critics alike. He had a mix of both adversity and accomplishments in 2015. He was apprehended for kidnapping and assault charges and was sentenced to house arrest in his Georgia home. He joined Snapchat platform and began referring to himself as Renzel, a play on the name of famous actor Denzel Washington. Black Market was released on December 4, 2015, and it served as his final album for original contract with Def Jam. The album's song, Free Enterprise, stirred up a controversy because the lyrics included the assassinate Trump like I'm Zimmerman, referring to the former president. In January 2016, after much speculation, Rick signed a solo deal with Epic Records, reuniting him with L.A. Reid, who originally played a major role in signing him to Def Jam. In 2017, he was criticized for stating in an interview that he would never sign a female rapper because I would end up fucking her and fucking up the business. At least he was keeping it a buck. He quickly apologized via Facebook, where he called his comments insensitive and a mistake he regretted. On August 26, 2020, during an interview with Hot 97, he announced his 11th album, Richer Than I Ever Been, which was released on December 10, 2021. On September 7, 2021, his book, The Perfect Day to Boss Up, debuted at number 5 on the New York Times bestsellers list. Rick Ross has 5 children. Toyi Roberts, born in March 2002. William Roberts III was born in September 2005. Berkeley Hermes Roberts was born in September 2017. William Leonard Roberts was born in November 2018, and Bliss Roberts in August 2020. He was briefly engaged to Lyra Galore Mercer in 2015. On October 14, 2011, Rick suffered 2 seizures in the same day, once in the morning and again in the early evening. Following the morning seizure, he was unconscious and CPR was rendered. After suffering the second seizure, he was admitted to a hospital in Birmingham, Alabama, where the doctors ran a battery of tests. They declared him healthy. Rick attributes the episodes to a lack of sleep in the previous week. He later noted that the incident in the remix of Meek Mill's song, I'm a Boss, with the line, had a couple of seizures, call it minor setbacks. Everybody praying for me. I respect that. Woke up in the hospital where my check's at. Then I put 8 chains where my neck's at. On March 2nd, 2018, Rick was hospitalized after being found unresponsive in his Miami home from a possible heart attack. He was on life support. He was released from the hospital a few days later. He proclaims his Christianity in an interview with Condry on Lift Every Voice. He indicated that no matter what, he had never questioned God. He indicated that he prays every time he goes on the stage to perform. In July 2008, The Smoking Gun produced details linking his social security number to an 18-month stint as a correctional officer at the South Florida Reception Center, along with a photograph first publicized by Media Takeout purporting to be Rick in his correctional uniform. He initially denied that the photo was him, but after overwhelming evidence of his past came into the public eye, he would later admit that he did work as a correctional officer in Florida for 18 months between 95 and 97. In a 2008 interview with allhiphop.com, Freeway, Ricky Ross claimed an offense that William Roberts used his name and identity when he learned that the Smoking Gun posted documents revealing Rick's previous employment as a correctional officer. On January 27, 2013, while celebrating his 37th birthday, he and his girlfriend were the targets of a drive-by shooting in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Neither Rick nor his girlfriend were hurt, but they ended up crashing their car into an apartment building in an attempt to escape the shooting. As of 2017, Rick owns several different Wingstop restaurants. Wingstop is a fast food chain specializing in chicken wings. When Don Lemon was fired from CNN in April 2023, Rick offered him a job, saying for some reason he believed Don Lemon knew what he was doing with his lemon pepper wings. He asked him to simply send over his resume. In January 2008, Rick was arrested on gun and Mary Jane charges. During a deposition of Officer Ray Hernandez, a Miami Beach police officer who arrested him, Rick's attorney, Alan Zimmerman, asked Hernandez why Rick's case was assigned to the gang task force. The officer stated that it was because he claimed affiliation with the Triple C's, aka Carroll City Cartel, and other known gang members. Zimmerman continued to question Hernandez for a personal link between Rick and the gang members, but the officer didn't provide proof. In August 2008, YouTube DJ Vlad filed a lawsuit against Rick for assault and battery. Vlad claimed Rick organized an ambush on him at the 2008 Ozone Awards in Houston, Texas, for asking questions about his past as a correctional officer. In June 2010, Freeway Ricky Ross sued rapper Rick Ross for utilizing his name, filing a copyright infringement lawsuit in a California federal court. Jay-Z had been called to testify in the lawsuit, as he was CEO of Def Jam when rapper Rick Roberts was signed to his label. Freeway Ricky Ross, a reformed drug kingpin, sought $10 million in damages in his suit. Also, Freeway Ricky Ross threatened to block the release of Rick Ross's album, Teflon Don. A week after the lawsuit was filed, Rick Ross replied to the charges. It's like owning a restaurant. You're going to have slip and falls. You get lawsuits, you deal with them, and get them out of your way. Sometimes you lose. He denied rumors that he would change his name to Ricky Rozay as a consequence of the lawsuit. The suit was thrown out of court on July 3rd, 2010. The album Teflon Don was released as scheduled on July 20th, 2010. A federal judge ruled that the case should be refiled in California State Court because it fell under California state law. Freeway Ricky Ross refiled the case with the state of California, and the federal case is an appeal in the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. The case was filed in 2011 in California. Freeway refiled in Los Angeles Superior Court with publicity rights claims. Trial was set for early May 2012. The case was dismissed by a judge in the Los Angeles Superior Court. The California state case was updated with a motion in Freeway Ricky Ross' favor as to Warner Brothers Records and their use of name and image Rick Ross in July 2012. On December 30th, 2013, the court ruled in favor of the rapper Rick Ross, allowing him to continue to use the name based on a First Amendment ruling. In 2011, the rapper Teflon Don filed a trademark infringement lawsuit against Rick for the use of the name as an album title. On March 26, 2011, Rick was apprehended in Shreveport, Louisiana for possession of Mary Jane. According to the police records, a strong smell of Mary Jane was detected from his Hilton hotel room in downtown Shreveport. Rick was arrested on June 27, 2014 in Greensboro, North Carolina, following his performance at the 2014 Super Jam at the Greensboro Coliseum. The arrest stemmed from a previous year warrant for another North Carolina arrest related to Mary Jane possession. Rick reportedly failed to appear in court for that violation in 2013. On June 24, 2015, Rick Ross and his bodyguard were apprehended in Fayette County, Georgia on kidnapping and assault charges. Both were accused of forcing a landscaper into a guest house and beating him about the head with a pistol, allegedly over money he owed Rick. On April 4, 2017, he pled no contest to a felony count of aggravated assault. The other felony charges were later dropped. Rick was sentenced to time served in jail, having already been incarcerated for a week, and was ordered to pay a $10,000 fine. He was sentenced as a first-time offender, and upon payment of the fine, the conviction was redacted from his record. He pled no contest to 5 misdemeanors: assault and battery, 2 counts of pointing a pistol at someone, and possession of less than 1 ounce of Mary Jane. For the 5 misdemeanors, he was given a total of 60 months probation. In January 2009, Rick started beef with 50 Cent because he supposedly looked at him the wrong way at the BET Hip Hop Awards in 2008. 50 told news sources that he didn't remember seeing Rick there. In late January, the Mafia Music by Rick leaked into the internet. There were several lines that seemed to diss 50 Cent. Days later, 50 Cent released Officer Ricky, Go Ahead, Try Me, in response to Rick's degrading remarks on his Mafia Music song. Before going to Venezuela, 50 Cent uploaded a video entitled Warning Shot, wherein he stated that Rick Ross, I'ma fuck your life up for fun. In addition, 50 Cent released the first of a series of Officer Ricky cartoons. Early in February, 50 released a series of Officer Ricky cartoons. Again, early in February of that year, 50 once again made a video which he uploaded to YouTube in which he interviewed Tia, the mother of one of Rick Ross's kids. She verifies that he was a correctional officer and claims his whole persona is bogus and fraudulent. On February 5th, 2009, The Game, who has a long-standing beef with, called up Seattle R&B station KUBE when asked about the beef between 50 and Ross. Game sided with 50 and said things weren't looking good for Rick. He offered to assist, stating, Rick Ross, holla at your boy, man, and 50, eating you boy. On his album Deeper Than Rap, Rick references 50 Cent in the song In Cold Blood. A video for the song was released that portrayed 50 fake funeral services. Upon release, Rick stated that he has ended 50's career. That same day, Rick released a new diss track called Push Him Over the Edge. The next day, 50 released the controversial video, A Psychic Told Me, dissing DJ Khaled. On February 12th, 50 responded with Tia Told Me, along with Lloyd Banks' response, Officer Down, and Tony Yayo's Somebody Snitched. In the interview, 50 said Rick is Albert from the movie CB4 because Rick was a correctional officer, came out and based his entire career on writing material from a drug dealer's perspective. On January 30, 2013, 50 claimed via Twitter that the drive-by shooting that Rick experienced on his birthday 2 days prior was staged, reigniting the beef. 2015, filed a $2 million lawsuit against Rick Ross after he rapped over the beat to In the Club for his Renzel Remixes mixtape in promotion of his Black Market album. 50's legal team argued that Rick unlawfully used the song to advertise his own album and violated 50's rights in the process, and they believed it should be held liable for it. The beef also included 50 being ordered to pay Rick's baby mama, LaVanya Levin, $7 million for leaking a sex tape with a former boyfriend as get back at Rick. Allegedly, 50 has yet to pay the settlement and has filed for bankruptcy. In fact, 50 sued his attorneys for misrepresentation in the case. On March 28, 2014, Rick was asked about the beef with 50. He stated that he doesn't wish to speak on him anymore and that he's done with the beef. His beef with 50 Cent has resurfaced. The reason of the second reignition would be because of Rick's MMG record label artist Meek Mill, who defended his mentor and criticized 50 on his 4-4 EP. A line on rapper Rocco's 2013 song, You Ain't Even Know. Rick Ross raps the line, put Molly all in her champagne. She ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it. A petition containing 72,000 signatures was presented to Reebok demanding that they drop Rick as a spokesperson for the lyrics, which appeared to condone date rape. Rick has apologized for the lyrics, claiming they weren't about the R word. April 11, 2013, 1 month after the song's release, he was dropped by Reebok. Reebok stated, while we do not believe that Rick Ross condones sexual assault, we are very disappointed he has yet to display an understanding of the seriousness of this issue or an appropriate level of remorse. They continue on to say, at this time, it is in everyone's best interest for Reebok to end its partnership with Rick Ross. Though Rick apologized for the lyrics, he also argued that his lyrics were misinterpreted because they didn't directly use the R word. A 2013 Rick Ross concert organized by the Student Association of Carleton University was canceled after a protest that his lyrics promote rape culture. Rocco later dropped Rick's verse in order to get radio play. Okay, y'all, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.